Puzzle Bucket.
Hey, it's Kenny from Puzzle Bucket with a Hearthstone Handlock deck feature for this week. It's been a while since I've been around. Hearthstone's still a thing. I've just kind of taken a casual approach to it lately. I was getting a little burnt out. I wanted to take a step back. I wanted to re-enjoy the game, if you will. And with some of the Hunter nerfs coming out, which, well, they pretty much killed Hunter flat out. Kind of got my interest back into it, and I started doing a little bit of research, and I stumbled across the Oblivion Handlock, which really is the old standard handlock. It's just got a couple of Nax cards. We've got 2 Sludge Belters, probably the best taunt in the game right now, and a Lotheb. Everything else is standard for handlock, although there is a Lord Jaraxxus in this particular version. Sometimes you may see like a Sylvanas instead. That's kind of up in the air, which one's more valuable, and it pretty much shifts depending on what you're facing on the ladder. The Oblivion Handlock on Hearthstone shows 2 Hellfires and 1 Shadow Flame. I flipped that. Basically, Hellfire is very rigid, and it only does one thing. It does 3 damage to everything. Shadow Flame is a little bit more flexible, in my opinion. I destroy the friendly minion that I choose to destroy, so its attack power, if you will, is it varies depending on what I have on the board, and it only damages enemy minions. Running 2 Hellfire sometimes can put you a little bit too low for any of those opponents that you may have a lot of burst damage. So I like to run 2 Shadow Flames and 1 Hellfire instead. Again, depending on what you're seeing in your playstyles, that may shift. Everything else is really the same, and it plays out the same way. You want to mulligan for those Mountain Giants and those Twilight Drakes right off the bat. If you're going up against an aggro, you may want to keep a Molten Giant in your hand or some type of early removal. But it is what it is. Oblivion Handlock. Here we go with gameplay footage. Alright, Warrior. I'm going to assume Control Warrior. They're pretty popular on the ladder now. General rule when you're playing Handlock is to mulligan for things like Giants, Mountain Giants specifically, Molten Giant if you're going against aggro probably, and your Twilight Drakes. So we do have a Mountain Giant, that's good. Not much else to work with, but we've got several turns to dig for the cards we want, so that's cool. There's a Siphon Soul, that's a hard removal for us. We can be pretty sure now that this is a Control Warrior. So we will life tap Sunfeared Protector. Got some of our taunts. 2 Defenders of Argus in our hand. Still looking for that Drake. If not, we can play our Mountain Giant turn 4. Soulfire, I'm not too keen on playing right now, so we will life tap Sun Fury. Pass the turn. Mountain Giant will come out next turn. He's going to armor up. That's going to hurt because he can slam for 7. I'm really tempted to Soulfire, and I think I'm going to. Alright, Defender of Argus is gone. That's fine. Unfortunately, with the slam in his hand, he can remove my Mountain Giant. But alright, he chooses to Cochrane Elite and go for the face. Alright, interesting. And honestly, I think we're going to play with fire a little bit, so to speak. Remove. Don't want to give him any more armor. And we're going to force him to remove the Cochrane Elite. This isn't exactly going the way I planned. Not using my cards probably as efficiently as they could be, but the draw is a little bit strange. Ooh, Frothing Berserker. That's probably going to be a good Siphon Soul target.
That belongs in a museum.
Yeah, the good old Harrison. Loatheb is not actually going to do us much good here. Sludge Belcher will do just beautifully. Here's a good Mortal Coil target. Oh, and he passes. Interesting. Alright, so let's Loatheb and Ancient Watcher, and we'll set up for a taunt next go round. He's got to have some late game, a lot of late game actually, so we're going to have to draw this out late game. Lord Jaraxxus is probably going to be one of our win conditions. We have to start planning for that. There's a Garrosh, so he's going to enrage there. And we could actually copy that. And if we copy that, we've got 4 mana left.
So many possibilities.
Hellfire, but that's risky. I think we copy it. And then we Defender of Argus, push in 16 damage, and see if he can answer it. Now he can execute Grommash, of course, but his Grommash won't be able to get in. Sludge Belcher, alright, fair enough. Well, that should have been played earlier. So do we have win condition? 10, 11, 12, 13. Which means we need to be able to clear.
I wonder.
It becomes a 1-2. Oh, let me think about this. We remove the Sludge Belcher with a Shadow Flame.
So many possibilities.
Yes, we have win. Alright, we push this through. 10 to the face, and we Hellfire for good measure. We could have done a Soulfire too, but alright, so there's a quick handlock game for you against a Control Warrior, which you're going to see probably a lot on the ladder. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. As always, if you have any questions, post in the comments below. I'll answer them as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time.